De Bruyne out, Tuchel in, and why Man United are gonna win. This is the Fantasy Football Cheat Sheet where we give you up-to-date injury news, predicted lineups, key fixture analysis, who to transfer in, and loads more. And all, as always, from official sources. And we're working from home now as well, which means I can just go and stick the kettle on without even going anywhere. The treatment room. What's the story regards injuries for game week 21? There's a party in the treatment room as Tierney, Smith Rowe and Thomas Partey are all doubts at the moment. Smith Rowe and Partey both limped off during their victory over the Saints, while Tierney was ruled out altogether. Arteta is waiting to see how Tierney's injury progresses ahead of the Man United game, while Aubameyang dropped out of Tuesday's match for personal reasons, but hopefully Aubameyang won't be out for too long. Kevin De Bruyne has been ruled out for 6 weeks, much to the delight of Man United fans and despair of you Dream Teamers. 52% of you still have him in your sides. Although Man City are undefeated this season without Kevin De Bruyne, so this might just be the time for another City player to rack up a few points for you. Meanwhile, Aguero has been forced to quarantine, but if he was in your Dream Teams, you weren't really paying much attention, were you? Jamie Vardy is expected to be back training by the middle of next week at the latest after having minor surgery on a hernia, while Dennis Pratt and Captain Morgan are also out for the weekend. Makes sense, Captain Morgan loves being out on the weekend. In really positive news, Raul Jimenez is improving every day and may even be back before the end of the season, but that's a long-term consideration. In other news, Nuno's got a Johnny in his back pocket, as the defender should be back to offer some protection in the next couple of weeks. And also, Podence returned too, so maybe keep an eye on how he performs over the next couple of games. Everton's Allen is expected to be back in training in the next couple of days, and while he's not much of a point scorer himself, he definitely improves Everton's chances of keeping a clean sheet. And Leeds' Diego Llorente just can't buy any luck this season after lasting only 10 minutes in his first start for the team. Key fixtures. Let's pick apart 3 key games from game week 21. What are the numbers telling us? Who should we avoid? If we don't mention your club in this section, then stick around for our players to pick, where we'll do our best to cover the other games where you could pick up some very naughty points. Arsenal v Man United. You might not believe it, but Arsenal have 3 wins in the last 4 meetings in this game, including a 1-0 win over United back in early November. But that result isn't exactly reflective of their whole season, is it? That not always reliable Arsenal defence comes up against the second best assist-to-goal partnership in the league in Bruno and Marcus Rashford. And if you're a regular to the show, you'll know they're second and third respectively in the overall Dream Team point standings. Only 21% of you own Rashford, by the way, though that's an increase of 1% since last week, so I'm getting through to some of you, aren't I? So what can we expect at 5:30 on Saturday? Well, United have won 8 of their last 10 games on the road, and Bruno has only not registered at least an assist in 2 of those games. 6 of Rashford's 7 goals have also come on the road. Then when we look at things from an Arsenal standpoint, Aubameyang is the only shining light, who has 3 goals in the last 4 games against United. Chelsea v Burnley. Burnley have only beaten Chelsea once in the league since 1973, which is actually the year that Tuchel was born. How about that? The Blues have won the last 3 games convincingly as well, scoring at least 3 goals in all of them. One of which was this season on match day 7. Ziyech, Zuma and one of our players to pick were the scorers for that one. One thing Chelsea player owners can hope for is a much more intimate relationship between the German gaffer and his squad. Tuchel worked with Pulisic at Dortmund, Thiago Silva at PSG, and will of course know fellow Germans Rudiger, Werner and Havertz very well. Dyche's men have only won 2 games away from home this year too, although one of them was last Thursday, when Dyche prevented Liverpool going 69 home games unbeaten. You just couldn't let them have their 69, could you, Sean? West Ham v Liverpool. One is a Champions League contender, and the other is Liverpool. Moisey might have been memed up for the past decade, but with the help of the Czech Fellaini, he's got the Hammers on the verge of the top 4. Only Liverpool themselves and Man City have a better home record than West Ham. They've made the Olympic Stadium a fortress. It's just a pity the fans aren't there to see it. Although, they didn't really get to see it anyway. The Reds have only won 2 games away from home all season, and their goal scoring is atrocious. Like, really bad. Ahead of tonight's game against Spurs, they have no wins in 5 and only 1 goal scored. Firmino is goalless in 5 and Mane has only scored 2 goals since mid-October. Now, we're not deluded. Klopp will turn this around, there's no doubt about it. They've won 7 of the last 9 meetings, while Mo Salah has played against the Hammers 7 times and scored in 6 of those games. And let's not forget, Mo Salah is still the Premier League top goal scorer. Transfer ins. Right, let's get to it. 3 names we think you have to get in your sides this week. If you're playing Dream Team, remember each month you get 5 transfers to do what you want with. So if you haven't already made any, then get them done now. Our 3 picks last week, Sterling, Watkins and Maddison, have all scored since. So who's going to rack up the points this week? Bernardo Silva. Now let's be honest, we could get on any City player at the moment. We recommended Sterling last week and he returned a goal and assist. Last week it's Sterling, this week it's Silva. Shout out to Ilkay Gundogan, by the way, who's now got 6 goals in his last 7 starts. But that surely can't last, can it? It can't. It just can't. In the absence of KDB and Aguero, Bernardo is finding himself much further forward and has a goal and an assist in his last 2 games. Mahrez and Gundogan may well have scored on Tuesday, but Silva is a full £1 million less at only 2.4 million. For context, Thomas Partey is 3.1 million on Dream Team. And let's not forget they're playing Sheffield United this weekend on the back of scoring 11 goals in 3 games without conceding. Sorry, Chris. Harvey Barnes. Maddison and Vardy naturally grabbed the headlines for Leicester, but the England international Barnes has had more shots on target than the likes of Aubameyang, Ings and Son. He's actually in the top 10 for shots on target in the league. He's the 6th highest scoring midfielder on Dream Team and he's cheaper than the likes of Pepe and Traore at only 3.1 million. Ahead of their game against Everton, Barnes has 3 goals and 1 assist in 5 games. And just look at those next 3 games. And Rodgers' men have already stuck 4 pass leads this season and obviously Harvey Barnes netted one of those. Timo Werner. Alright, hear me out. I know Werner's been really poor this season, I know. But we're going all in on the new manager bounce. Although tell that to West Brom, they've got more of a new manager hobble really, haven't they? Werner has undoubtedly been one of Germany's best players in recent history, while Tuchel has been one of their best managers. So that's a mouth-watering combination. It might mean the end for Abraham and Giroud, but surely Tuchel will get Werner firing through the middle like he did 95 times for RB Leipzig. Timo has scored against this weekend's opponents already this year as well, and just like Leicester, the Blues have a very handy set of fixtures over the next month. Predicted 11s. Alright, so you're up to speed with who's available. Let's get some predicted lineups coming your way. Okay, that's your lot. Just before I leave you, I've got to remind you about our Dream Team fantasy football game. We've got a new and exciting subscription service for you this year called Dream Team Coach. It offers projected scores, fixture difficulty rating, projected price changes, and loads more if you're looking for that extra detail when picking your sides. It's available really easily in the app, and there's a link in the description below. And best of all, it's half price right now at the moment, just $9.99 for the rest of the season. Okay, let us know what you thought of the show in the comments. Tell your mates about us, tell your nan about us. We're working very hard every week to give you the most informative video on the internet for fantasy football. And what are your teams going to look like? Have you got any weird picks? How are you doing in your mini leagues? Let us know and we'll do our best to get back to you. Right, that's all from me. I'll see you again next time.